This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network.
Well, hello and welcome back to The Dating Orange. This week's guest is Ross, content creator, activist, accidental political commentator and self-described Palestinian. His online journey is a funny one. He started off posting tasteful thirst traps on TikTok and somehow ended up talking about housing, healthcare and government policy. But today we are parking the politics and we're getting into his dating life. Ross is bisexual, so he's seeing it from all angles. We talk about his disillusionment with hookup culture, how it's no easier dating men as a man, and some of the mad owl situations that he has found himself in over the years, including getting catfished on Craigslist and a date getting maximum financial value from him. Ross has seen it all from men and women, God love him. I contribute a couple of my own bad first date stories too, including one where, like Ross, I got absolutely fleeced on a first date as a student. So there you go now. Enjoy. Ross, like you're a bit of an, what would you call yourself? Advocate? Advocator? What do you call them? Activist was the word.
Yeah.
For like Palestine, fair play to you. And like you were talking about the strikes there, the tractors and the lorries and everything like that, giving people a rundown on like the fuel costs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
to be honest with you, I hate politics. I really,
hate
truly,
it?
I absolutely hate politics. My family look at me like I have four heads going, where is Ross? Like,
Really?
honestly, my brother used to be quite into the politics growing up as a teenager and all the rest, and I had zero interest. And over the years, it just got to the point where when you start looking into what the problem is, whether it's housing, whether it's healthcare, whether it's Palestine, whatever, it all leads back to the government. And unfortunately, that's just what I fell into eventually.
And so you weren't always kind of talking about this stuff. You just
Oh, my original content on TikTok, I started obviously during COVID times, as pretty much everybody did, and it was like TikTok boyfriend material where like I'd just be cooking my dinner and I put like the phone down and I'd be like, I talk to the phone and say like, oh, do you want, have your dinner ready? We're having steak today.
Oh my God,
and
was that
like,
how you started?
like I play it up and all that. I called them my
boyfriend.
my tasteful thirst traps because
Whoa.
like at the time thirst traps were a big thing, but like as you can probably tell, I'm not ripped with a six pack or anything like that. So I just went the opposite direction. Was
what
like,
a pivot.
Yeah,
and then
I know.
into like a politics and like
and
fuck
then
the
it just
government.
things just started annoying me, so I just started speaking out about it. And then
You're very knowledgeable.
yeah, like I mean, it does take a bit to look it up, and thankfully I got involved with Uplift Ireland, and so that way I make content for them. But like a lot of what I do there as well is a bit of research, and we try and stay as informed as we can and just like break things down into a bite size, just so other people can understand it. Like so.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now you had like I was like a follower of your page, say on like TikTok, and whatever you were putting up there. It's been a few years now. I think that you've been kind of talking about your politics kind of stuff.
I'd say so. Yeah.
But then separately, there was a fella called Ross. I don't think you had your name. Did you have your name Ross on your TikTok?
I had it in the bio, but I've never had it as a user. And the way you have two names or whatever. I've never
Was
had
it
it as
Unsub 1989?
That's the one, yeah.
Because then I didn't know your name for a long time, so I was like, the
that's fair.
Unsub.
Yeah. I've literally knocked on the door here and been like, I'm here to see the dating orange.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's it. And then on, like I was getting got a couple of like funny fucking crazy emails from a fella separately. So I would be like looking at you here on TikTok, and then separately there was a fella sending me an emails that I was reading out called Ross. And then this went on for like a couple of years. Did not know until only there about 2 months ago. I was like, oh my God, what? You are this person that was sending me in the emails.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Give us a little background on the dating. What's been going on?
Yeah, I haven't been dating much in the last couple of years, and then obviously like I moved from Dublin down to the country, so it is a bit harder. I'd have to set my distance a lot further to get more people, because I really do live in a quite kind of sparse area.
Whereabouts, or are you?
It's North Offaly, so
Right, okay.
kind of near Road, Edenderry, and like it is farming land. Like it's just rolling fields all
How'd you
around me,
end up
kind of
down
thing.
there?
Like, back in 2019, I had moved back with the parents and I was trying to buy a house. And my two options once I got approved for my mortgage was either a 1-bedroom apartment in Santry Cross or just over half an acre with a cottage and a load of greenhouses. So I went with the second option, and people called me crazy. And then 6 months later, COVID hit, and they were saying people were like, "Can I come move down with you?" And
Yeah,
I
well,
was
that's
like,
perfect. Like perfect
"No."
timing.
Yeah, it was.
Did you have to do a bit of work and whatever on the cottage? And
Oh, absolutely. I still have to, like, but I've gotten it to the point where I have a kitchen, I have a sitting room, I have a bedroom, I have an office, and I have a bathroom, and I'm fairly simple. I think most lads are kind of fairly simple in that
Yeah,
sense.
exactly,
like,
yeah.
But
you have, so I suppose, are you on the apps at the moment?
I am, but I'm gonna admit, like, I'll go on, I'll swipe, and then I'll just give up on them. Into just the way it goes.
But like, I think, right, the Midlands, not the worst, because actually, if you're in Dublin and you set your distance, really far, you actually will pick up people in the UK or Wales or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're in the Midlands, at least all directions are covered in the island.
Yeah.
How far do you have it?
Like, it depends. Like, I've been just terrible recently. Like, as I said, I'll swipe a bit, but like, I would have it set to, I think 60 between 60 and 70 kilometers would get me to at least Dublin, past Athlone and things like that. But I do feel that a lot of people in Dublin probably don't set theirs that far.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Because
so.
I'd see people from Dublin, but I don't think they see me in that kind of way. Like,
is that how it works? That you can see them? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Because, like, I notice if I move, like, if I've set a distance to that kind of to that kind of distance, and then, like, I'm up in Dublin, I'll probably get home tonight with like 2 or 3 matches. Or one or two
yeah,
kind of
right,
things,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it means that, like, I'm closer. That's why I kind of made that assumption, I suppose, is that, like, and like, I wouldn't be swiping when I'm up here because I'm usually working or up with the parents.
All right, okay, fair enough. And give us a few of the old tales that you
Oh
recall.
my God.
Have you been on a date recently enough, or like no, haven't been?
Not really. It was just, no. No, it was more just, I went on a date and, like, I don't know if it's a guy thing or not, but if you go on a date with someone and you just can't pinpoint what it was, that, like, they were a lovely person, you got on really well, all that, but then just afterwards you just kind of felt like they're not right, but then you feel really bad and don't know how to say that.
No, I know. It's tough going. And you date men and women?
Yeah, date anyone as long as they're a nice person.
Have you ever weighed more to one side than the other? Has it always kind of been like?
To be honest, on dating apps, like, I'll turn on the guy to see both, and then I'll probably turn it off the next day because men.
Really?
Oh man, like, you've been on dating apps? Do you know what men are like?
Fuck off! You're saying that as a man yourself.
They are just as bad to other
their
men, to their own. I swear, I think that I think any guy who wants to go, like a straight guy wants to go onto a dating app, I think they should have to go onto Grindr for a week beforehand
and see
what it's like, and I'd say they'd be treating women a lot better because. Yeah, and I think that was one of the stories I sent you in, actually, was that, like, I went on a date with a guy and, like, it was grand, attractive, all the rest, but it was just, again, not really my thing, and I'm not really someone who's just gonna jump into bed or whatever. And, like, we had our date. At the end of it, then it was a text, and I texted and I was like, yeah, nice day, whatever, but it just wasn't feeling it, whatever. And he came back and was like, yeah, I know, understand. And yeah, I kind of didn't feel the click or the spark or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's great or whatever. Next thing, the phone buzzes. Would you still like to hook up? And I was like, dude, no. Like, that's no.
It just is, fuck's sake.
And I assume that's how they treat you, right, from having...
Well, it's just all sorts, going on. Actually, something very similar happened. Let me see if I can get this. I'll read it out to you. But anyway, basically, I went on a date with this fella and he was involved with, like, a very particular type of dog breed, like I'm not going to say aggressive dog, but like a tough dog breed, right? He was involved with this type of dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, I don't know if this is going to be the right thing. Anyway, it turns out that he was a friend of a friend, and that male friend said, oh no, he's a good lad. He's a good 10 years older than him. And I was like, okay, fuck it, sure, I'll go. Met him with his dog and my dog. And then we went around Big Park, and his dog immediately took a shit at the side of a football pitch. And I pointed at him while he was taking the shit and was like, dog shitting.
Yeah, especially public areas, people playing football. Come on.
And then he was like, oh, and he was like, and he'd already walked past the dog, and then he was like doing this fumbly thing with his pockets, and then he was like, fuck it, it's fine, like that. And then I was like, oh my God, football pitch, children,
kids playing,
bicycles,
that's
old
not right.
people,
Yeah.
blind people.
No.
No, come on.
And come prepared for something like that as well. Like whatever, if you're walking on a bog or something, but that's not right. Like, yeah.
You're on a date. Like, if you bring your dog on a date, your dog, is always going to shit when you're on a first date. Be prepared.
Absolutely.
So then my dog went over, spotted 2 dogs across a field. She bombed it over there, and I was like, screaming her name, right? And I know she doesn't come back, she doesn't give a shit, right? And he said, God, if that was my dog, that would be well trained out of him by now. Because he's all involved with this, whatever. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. My dog is social. Like, she wrecks my head, but I'm like, go girl. Make a show of me. Do it.
You go get it.
So then as we went on, this is a long-winded story, but actually I forgot there's so many little twists and tales to it. He had told me that I was talking about my friend who had a American Pit Bull Terrier and that he was a bit bowed or whatever. And he said with those types of dogs, if they do something wrong, there's no point doing little slaps or whatever or timeouts. You need to give them one good punch in the head.
What?
And I was like, oh God, get me out of this date.
Run.
Get me out. Now, he didn't know this park and I knew it really well. So I very swiftly took every single left turn that was coming up, so I would basically be straight back in the car park. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So I think it was the shortest date I ever had. I'd say it was half an hour. And then I said, oh, right, anyway, may head off. He sent me a voice note. And then I said, hello, had a nice time too. Thanks for meeting me. I was thinking about it myself. I think we're quite different, so I don't think there'd be any point in meeting again, unfortunately. You're lovely though, and thanks for all of the dog tips. I was like...
Which I never use because that's cruelty. Yeah,
I don't think he's there baiting dogs left, right and centre. But like, I just...
It was even the wording of that though, like a punch in the head.
Punch in the head.
Like,
and then,
I have a German Shepherd and jeez, I wouldn't treat him like that. Like...
Now, I think he's talking about particularly, like, not that it makes it any better, but the German Shepherd's heads are slimmer. And then he's obviously talking about, he's like, oh,
that bunchy
these
kind of,
bull bees, that the only way you can actually make them stop or do anything is to give them a punch in the head. So I was absolutely shook over it. He said, because he had sent me a voice note before that, obviously it's saying that he wanted to see me again. And then when he replied to my message, he said, no worries at all. Lovely to meet you too. And if you ever need any no strings attached dog tips, feel free.
Yeah. There you go.
No strings attached.
And as I said, they don't just treat you like that.
I was repulsed by him. I would never, in a month of Sundays, think to ring him up for a ride.
No. Imagine. Just imagine. And like, there's ways about... I don't know. So that's why, as I said, I just think it might do some lads well.
Yeah.
But then again, you do, like on Grindr, the amount of profiles that don't have pictures and the word discreet or attached or that kind of thing in their bios. And
I think they're straight men.
I've seen a few who have straight up said, have a girlfriend, or like, I'm discreet, can't be seen in public because I have a girlfriend and stuff like that. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, why? Can I swear on the podcast?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay.
Swear away.
Yeah.
I'm aggressive 24/7. Can I swear on the podcast?
I don't know. So yeah, like, it's just, I think, like, it's obviously not all lads and that kind of thing, but like, there is enough of them to be like, oh, seriously, you're giving us all a bad name. Like,
so you're mainly looking for the women.
I would, like, when I'm swiping and stuff, yeah, but then I think I've lost faith that the dating apps I will ever find the one in that kind of way. But then, like, there was an episode of your podcast for the plot, was it? It was like a friend. It was Amy.
Just a pal. I was sitting in her sitting room, yeah.
And she used to go on dates just for a bit of crack.
Yeah.
So I used to do that in my 20s, like when I lived back in Dublin. It gets you out, and there might be no one around, so it's like, yeah, sure, I'll go out and meet this person or whatever, and we'll hang out. Like,
do you know, like Grindr and things like that? I feel like there's no serious apps really for the gay or bisexual man.
Yeah, and I think a lot of lads who go to the serious, because like obviously you can go onto Tinder and set that you're a man just looking for men, and the same I think on Bumble.
But even Tinder might be thought of as just a hookup app as well.
But
Obviously,
again,
Grindr totally is.
Yeah, that's it. They generally just get treated like that, really.
Yeah.
I think, and like that, and it is disappointing because like I have gone on 1 or 2 dates from like lads I've met on Tinder, and it's like they're only after the one thing, and you're just kind of like, oh, I thought we were going on like an actual date to get to know each other and see if something, whatever kind of thing. Like, and it just gets to the point where you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, and you give up a little bit, unfortunately.
No, stop. There might be a lovely little country woman for you down in the Midlands.
Oh, sure, yeah.
The Craigslist.
Oh, that was one of my first experiences of online dating.
What year are we talking?
We were back home, so probably about 2011-ish.
Whoa.
I mean, I don't need like Tinder and all. I don't think they were a thing back then. Like
No, I don't think so.
I think the first dating app I would have been dating app was like Plenty of Fish or OkCupid. But yeah, this was before that. I think I had just accepted that I was also attracted to guys, and I was trying to obviously expand my horizons and all this kind of jazz. So yeah, there was a guy, there was like a post on Craigslist from a guy, and he was like, oh, young professional in town, whatever, just looking to hang out with someone. So I was like, oh, cool, I'm doing nothing this week, whatever. So a few emails back and forth, and he had shared his Facebook profile with me and admitted and said like, oh, some of those photos are a few months old. Months, right? And you know yourself with Facebook, you can go on and see when they were posted. And sure enough, you know, whatever the photos were within the last couple of months, like 6-7 months or whatever.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, cool. And he was good looking. Don't get me wrong, and there's a couple of big pictures on the beach. He had his top off, and yeah, all right. And he had nice hair, which is important to me. I like a bit of hair, and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, so we agreed to meet up. He was, again, fairly like, he was coming in from somewhere on the south side. I was coming in from somewhere on the north side. And like, he was a little pushy at the beginning, being like, oh, like, should I book a hotel room or whatever? And I was kind of like, maybe we should just meet up first or whatever. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I'll book one just because there's one there, and, just in case it gets booked or something. And I was like, I don't think so. It's like, I don't know, a Wednesday in January, like, okay, whatever. So agreed to meet him at the Spire, and I was standing at the Spire, and I just remember it was really quiet, like there wasn't really many people around, and a taxi pulls up right outside it, and this guy gets out, and I was like, I was waiting to see this, fit, youngish guy, nice hair and all the rest, and out steps a much older lad with very bald head and a little kind of punch on him, and I was like, and like, you're standing there and like you see that getting out, and you're kind of like, oh no, that's not him.
For me.
That's not for me. Looking around, the next thing it's like, Ross? And I was like, oh, all right, it is you. Oh, how are you? And he like hugs me, and I was like, what the and like, obviously we were told, as when we were teenagers, to be careful of meeting people online and all this, but like the things like catfishing, that wasn't even a term I think that would have been used back then.
Yeah.
Because like there wasn't really the space to do it in. You kind of met people out and about. This was the first kind of online-y thing. So I was like, this is like, what the hell? So I made a bit of a decision, and like he was straight in. He was like, oh, we get a drink or we go to a hotel.
Oh my God.
Like straight in. Like, yeah, lad, relax. And I was kind of like, right, I could go for a drink with this guy, but I don't want, like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to go home. But then I was like, I kind of want to fuck him over, to be honest.
Sorry, do we think that actually these pictures were him years ago?
Oh, they were, I'd say they were definitely him years ago.
Were they years? Right, okay.
But like, you could kind of, like, once kind of in the light of everything, you could kind of tell, it was him. But it was like,
your eyes a little bit.
he did only post them a few months ago, but they are definitely a couple of years older.
Yes.
So I had to think for a second, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's just go to the hotel. And he was delighted, absolutely over the moon. Yeah, let's go.
Oh.
And I'd been working in hotels for a few years, and I was like, right, first of all, he's going to have to pay for it. Second of all, he's going to have to pay a deposit for it. So let's mess this around. So we checked in, really dingy, kind of like, I kind of felt like, I know my worth. I shouldn't be in a place like this. But anyway,
where is it? Do you remember the name?
Oh, it's down on Abbey Street. I don't even know if it's still there. I think it's beside,
Is it on the corner?
No, beside the Academy. a little bit further down on that end, kind of between the oval.
There was a hotel there.
Yeah.
Sorry, on the other side.
Yeah, so it would have been on the kind of O'Connell or the Liffey side of the street.
On Abbey Street?
On Abbey Street, yeah.
On the side of the academy or the side of the oval?
Side of the academy.
Oh.
I'm almost certain it was nearly beside the academy.
I could only imagine that would be dingy there. I think
it was like 50 quid a night or something, and I was like, oh god. So we check in, and like I was mortified, to be honest with you, because like, ugh. Anyway, and like the lads behind the desk, you could see them looking at me being like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
sorry, could we just to clarify, what age are you now? I assume, are you in 1989? Is that when you're born?
Yeah, so I was 21-ish.
And you're 36 now, is it? And you were 21, and this lad would have been, what are you thinking?
Like, I think he was telling me he was like 27, 28, but like he was well into his 30s, if not pushing 40. Like.
Oh, and you're 21 little baby.
Yeah, so the baby there, but I was still kind of like, oh, fuck this guy over. So anyway, we check in, Morto. I was like, right, come on, up this. There wasn't even a lift, it was up the stairs. And into the room, and like he was straight hugging, going for a kiss, and I was like, just a second. I was like, I kind of need to use the bathroom. I was like, sure, you get into the bed there, knowing that if a bed is used in a hotel room, it's counted as, you're not getting your money back. Oh. So I then went into the bathroom, and I took all of the little amenities, little things, and I just all over the countertop. Got some toilet paper, may have done it up and put it down the toilet, and got the towels, put them into the sink and turned it on just to wet them. I got out and I looked, and he was in the bed. All his clothes were scattered around the ground and all that. And I just looked at him and I said, you need to update your profile pictures on Facebook, mate. And I just walked straight out.
Oh my God.
And like down. And I stopped at the lads that were at the desk, like the check-in desk. And I was like, just so you know, that room is used and you need to inspect it before you give them back a deposit or anything. And never meet anyone from the internet. And I just
Very good.
Ran out.
Mic drop.
I was like, get me out of here. Like, oh God.
Those poor lads, sorry, you saying just to let you know that room was used.
I'd say they were probably like, in 2 minutes, just
yeah, I know.
kind of thing. Like, yeah, but what can you do? You got to get them back somehow.
What did you do up there? You're dead right. And like, sorry, this was on, what did you say, Craigslist?
Craigslist, yeah. So that's just how old it was.
I've never used that in my life. I've just heard that about the Americans.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if he was either American, Canadian or something. He was one of those kind of like where he was a businessman, and I think he was just using it over here. And
I thought it was like done deal, but you can put like personal ads and stuff on it, is it?
I don't know I don't even know if is Craigslist even a thing anymore. I don't know, but like back then anyway, yeah, you could put up. It was more kind of like, yeah, personals, let's say.
And then after that, so what are we thinking? Like of all the dates that you went on, what is the breakdown? Most of them are women. Are you thinking?
A lot. I'd say yeah, definitely a lot more women. Because as I said, like I'd go through periods of time where I'd like put on men and women on whatever dating app, and then it would just get to a point where I'm kind of like, oh no, I just can't deal with this, like, and I just go back to women because I'd be looking for a chat and looking to get to know someone and that kind of thing, and then you do just end up bombarded with bullshit, and it's just like, nah, I can't deal with this, I don't.
And what about the women? Any tales from that side of it?
Oh my God. There was one of the stories I sent you, and I know it's not as wild as a lot of people's worst first dates and all that, but it just blew my mind that like I matched with a woman, she was from the south side. We met up in town. And like from the very start, like I think we were talking for like 2 or 3 days beforehand. And just the usual kind of getting to know each other and like, do you like traveling? Do you like this, that and the other? And she didn't once mention an ex. She didn't anything like that. And we met for coffee. We went to like Bewley's up in Grafton Street, and she wasn't like straight out rude to the staff, but there wasn't any pleases and thank yous kind of thing.
Yes, okay.
And I'm kind of like, that usually just put that down to nerves. That's fine, whatever. And like, I don't know. Is there a general consensus about like who's paying on the first date? And
it's like, I sure that you could fight about this till
that is a fight, isn't it? Like, and to be honest, I'm a nice guy. I have no problem, and I do generally would pay on a first date. But there's also then just the aspect of like, it's nice when someone else says, when the other person is like, oh, I'll get this or I'll get the next or whatever kind of thing. Like, but there was zero of that. It was just straightforward. Like, you're paying kind of thing. She ordered and then just basically walked away.
What did you get? It was 2 coffees.
So it was like 2 coffees and a few bits, which is grand. And that was the first part of it, which all of that up until that point, even in my head at the time, I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is fine, whatever. Maybe she's a bit nervous. That's why she's not, as nice as she could be to some of the staff or whatever.
But with the pain thing, I've said before anyway, I would have liked to have just done pints and, you get a pint, I get a pint, you get a pint, I get a pint. That's grand. And then we're both out. But for coffee dates or whatever, what are you not going to split that? So
yeah,
it's
and you're
a bit
not going
awkward,
up and past. Yeah, but
I
usually,
would never just sit there.
Yeah,
and wait.
I think in the last couple of dates that I've been on, that when we've gone up to order, the other person will generally be like, "Oh, will I get it?" And I'd just be like, "No, I get it. You get the next one," kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
and
lovely.
it's fine, whatever. But this one, yeah, as I said, it was just straight off, walk away. That's fine. Got the coffees and the pastries, sat down, bit of a chat, and nearly straight away it was talk about her ex, and it was like, oh, he used to bring me here and he used to bring me there, and I'm sitting there going okay, right, and try and change, you try and change the conversation from maybe travel to what you like doing in the evenings, or do you like TV shows? Oh, we were watching such and such a series, and I was kind of part of me, I think I did ask at one stage, I was like, how long did you just break up? Because it sounded like it was last week.
Yeah, are you still
but
together?
It was nearly a year or something. And she's like, I'm just getting dating now and all this. And I'm kind of thinking should I tell her to just stop talking with
I know.
her at this stage? And she'd nearly tie everything back to it. And I was like, right. So I was getting a bit fed up. And I was kind of I don't know, maybe it's getting a bit late, or or it wasn't really getting late, but it was kind of should we head off or whatever? And she's like, can we go to cinema? And I was like, sure. What? I was kind of sideswiped. I didn't quite know what to say. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Is there something you want to see? I was like, I'm not really a big fan of the cinema on the first date, because you're just sat there, But no, she kind of pushed for it, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. And we walked down to the Savoy and whatever. I can't even remember the movie, but it wasn't playing there till stupid o'clock. So we went around to Parnell Square. Oh, yeah. And that was fine. And in my head then, I'm kind of now she's asked me to the cinema. So what's going to happen here? Of course, we get up, she picks the seats, she picks the movie and all that, and then just straight looks at me. And I was like,
oh my gosh, she just looked at
fair
you.
Enough, right? And there's the card. Yeah, got the 2 tickets. We were going upstairs, and she was like, oh, come on, we get popcorn. And I was like, we'll get popcorn, yeah. And so we walk up to the counter and large popcorn and all the rest. And she was like, what are you having? And I was like, fucking excuse me. Right, yeah, grand. And then, of course, comes time to pay. Looks at me again, and I was just my ex used to pay for everything and used to bring me here and there. And I was like, right. I was like, this is the last.
And you're just
thing.
so awkward.
I was just this is the last thing you're getting out of me. So I got that. Went in. As I said, can't even remember the name of the movie. I don't even know if it was good or bad. I think I was just sitting there fucking half fuming.
Well, you weren't shifting anyway in the cinema, were you?
Not at all.
She just brought you there to pay for it.
This is the other thing. I think I do remember that it was. Whatever it was a popular movie, and it was within the first couple of days of coming out. So the cinema was packed.
Oh, right, okay.
It wasn't we were sat at the back of 5 other people in it. It was busy, which is grand. So cinema ended and we're walking out, and now at this stage it's dark. We're on Parnell Street. I'm a Northsider, I have no problem, but I'm kind of still come on, I'll walk you back over to your Lewis. I'm not letting her walk that way by herself or whatever. And there's a KFC there. And she's like, I'm hungry. And I was like, that's nice, yeah. For fuck's sake. And I was like, oh yeah. And she was like, I want to go to KFC. And I was like, okay. I was like, are you specific about KFC here? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, cool. On the way to the Lewis, there's a KFC on Westmoreland Street. Let's go to that one. It's generally a bit quieter.
Okay, yeah.
Right. That means slightly something else. But anyway, no. She wanted to go to this KFC. And I was like, oh, right, fair enough. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go. And she gets up to the counter and she orders, and she looks at me and she's like, and what are you getting? And I was like, oh, no, I'm not hungry. I'm good. And she just looks, and I was like, okay. And your man says, whatever, €10. And she looks at me, and I just kind of shrugged and just looked
good.
around. Just
fucking that. Good.
And eventually she paid. But
oh,
the thing about we were sat there, and even when we walked in, I was kind of I'm not comfortable in here. And as we were sitting there and she was eating, a fucking fist fight broke out. There was lads shouting at each other. There was all this. And
Is this KFC on O'Connell Street?
No, on Parnell. I don't even know if it's still there.
Oh, as like it's rough up in Parnell Street, and then like it's quieter on Westmoreland Street. That's what you meant.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you
There's
can't
killings
see me
going around all
smiling
over you.
and nodding here. I was trying to be very polite about that. As I said, I'm from the north side. I'd hang out there. Love the Mooney's pub and all that. But I had a feeling it was going to be a bit of a rough situation when we went into the place, and I was dead right about it. And then I was just like, I can't deal with this. So I think I walked her as far as like the Lewis and was just like, yeah, okay, bye, and ran. And that was it. I was like, never. And like I said, it's not as wild as many, but it was just...
But no, it's sickening though. But like she... Like there didn't seem to be anything romantic here going on between you, but she had a grand old day out of you.
Yeah. She didn't get her KFC, I'll tell you that.
But she did. You just didn't pay for it.
I just didn't pay for it. Yeah, she didn't get that one
I
out of me.
suppose, but she went home and she was like, that fucker.
She was
that
probably
tight
going home.
bastard.
Yeah, she was probably going home to call me. Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, I care less. That's fair enough. Okay,
You actually reminded me of something there. When I was young, I was working in a nightclub back home, and I got asked out. I was shifting this bouncer on every staff night we went out, and then he asked me out on an actual date to the cinema. So he picked me up at my house, and the two of us had to work in the nightclub that night. So we went to the cinema at like whatever it was, 8 or whatever, and then afterwards we were going into work at like 10. And then he picked me up. So we went in. Actually, my friend Gav was working in behind the counter, and so I was like, "Oh, jeez, Gav, what's the crack?" And then we were talking away for like looked a minute, and I was like, "Yeah, this is your man, whatever the fuck." And he was like, "Oh, what are you going to see?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, 2 tickets to," and I think it was Avatar. I think.
Right.
No, it couldn't have been. That's about 4 hours
I was
long.
going to say,
Definitely
that's quite a
work.
long one for going to before work.
Definitely not. Anyway, I can't remember. But I said 2 tickets to whatever, and then your man turns and he was like, "Oh, are you getting these so?" And then I was like, "Oh, all right. Yeah." Did she give you? You asked me out. Sorry, can I actually just go back here? He asked me out because he had gotten hammered while I was working and came in and then made some kind of remark about all the times that we had shifted and I haven't rode him yet. And then I was like, "Excuse you,
you haven't even brought me on a date yet."
Exactly, you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
So then he came back, and when he was sober, he was like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry about that. Like that was so whatever rude or whatever. Please let me take you out on an actual date." So then
that's his date. He should be
100%.
up in it. Yeah, 100%.
No, are you getting this? I had only just my friend said, "What are you going to see?" And I was like, 2 tickets or whatever. "Oh, you're getting this, so looks like I am." So then I bought the tickets. Now, I am a student. I'm a student who works in a nightclub. I haven't got 2 pennies to rub together.
Yeah.
Bought the tickets, and then I was just like not getting food. And then he was like, "Oh, I paid for it." And then went to walk away, and he was like, "You're not getting any food." And I was like, "No." And he bought himself a popcorn and a drink. We went in there, and I tell you that my entire body was faced away from him. Legs crossed the other way.
He
shoulder.
bought himself popcorn and a drink.
Yeah. And nothing for me. And he was there chomping away, the fucker, beside me. And then after that, then I leapt out with the car. He drove, like 2 of us drove, got into sitting in outside the cinema, got in the car, and then I hopped out. And then after that, then I gave him such a cold shoulder, and he came up to me then later, and I just kept ignoring him. And then he was like, "What was the crack?" And I was like, "You were meant to be bringing me on a date to say sorry for your behaviour the other week."
Yeah.
And then somehow I am now out of pocket for that.
Yeah.
I am poor. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm such a dope. I don't really know what to be doing." I was like, "Look, can we just leave it and just be friends? I don't give a fuck."
Yeah,
I just I don't want to waste any more money.
That kind of thing.
I'm not letting you bring me out again.
Jesus.
I know. It'll be tough out there.
But no, I think that's like, especially in that kind of situation, it's like if somebody is asking you out, especially if you've known each other for a little bit or whatever like that, I think that's whoever's asking really, that's their date. I
see so much stuff online about women who like refuse to go on, say, walking dates, coffee dates, or like pint dates or anything like that because it's low effort, and it's from like low effort or men who do not value you, and you're a high value woman and you should only be brought on dinner dates. And I'm thinking like,
is
Jesus,
that not like Andrew Tate style just for women? Is it like if you're a high value? Yeah.
And I'm like, what about you is high value? Like, anyway, I hate this high value shit anyway, but like I went on so many dates, and sometimes the odd time there was 3 times a week that I would go on a date when I was in my like, let's go for it era.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I can't be going on 3 dinners a week, do you know?
No,
but I was going for a few pints 3 times a week. And like that was kind of the easiest thing. Or sometimes the odd dog walk, do you know?
Yeah.
Because I had to do that anyway if time is of the essence. to get these dates in?
That's for me personally, I think that the likes of a coffee date or a walking date, I think they're good as starting points. And like, I mean, you don't really want to be like, if you're in the middle of a walking date or if you're in the middle of a coffee date, it's a lot easier if something is said that you really just want to get out of there for you to just walk away from it. Number one. And like, I just think it's easier. I think it's easier for everyone because you're not investing a whole lot into it. And it might sound kind of like, oh, but then you're not really into it. But like, in the way dating kind of goes nowadays, especially with online dating, it's like, yeah, you could be doing that 3 or 4 times a week.
You do need that first date as just a little teaser to like, oh, do I actually want to see you for a more extended period of time?
Absolutely. Like, I think like I used to, when I was working in the hotel, I had like I would have gotten I'd say a good few matches, and a lot of them would have been from people either like professionals traveling, students, that kind of thing, that were like from outside of Ireland. I think I had like my bio was something like I'm a concierge in a hotel. I like walking museums and restaurants or something like that. So like it was a good enough profile at the time, you know. And like I get the match, I get a match, and like that, I would generally start the day with a coffee or a walk, and it would just be like, right, we'll meet up, and like your friend Amy with the kind of with the just for the plot, like I'd just be going out for the crack. Oh look, I'm going on a date with someone from Finland or whatever, you know. It's got to be something different. You get to learn a bit about a culture or whatever. And like there was dates where we'd meet for a coffee, we'd go for a walk, and next thing you'd realize it's 2 hours later and you've just been chatting, and it's like, you know what, do you want to go grab dinner? Yeah, you know, and you can extend it then from that kind of thing. And I think that used to work well because it gave you the chance that like, if you were in that first couple of moments, you know, in the first hour or two and you weren't really enjoying it, then you can just end the coffee fairly easy and just walk away from it. Like,
yeah. Well, like exactly. At least I was on a dog walk with that fella who wanted to punch dogs in the head and not sitting down at a dinner. Yeah. But the, do you see, I restarted the matchmaking anyway. Maybe
did you?
You should pop yourself back in for that. I'll find somebody nice for you. But for things like that, right, and when I set people up for matchmaking, there are people, I ask them how far they want to travel for a date. Like I live in Dublin. I've lived in Dublin for 15 years now, and I thought like I'd have my distance as far as possible, and because I didn't, you know, I couldn't say that the love of my life was going to be in Dublin. Yeah. But a lot of people won't travel, as you said yourself. But some people will, and like it would just have to be a coffee date if they're going to drive, you know, if they're going to drive half an hour or an hour or whatever, it's probably coffee dates on this matchmaking thing. But maybe you might. Yeah, you're looking for more people, are you? I'm looking for some nice normal men, I tell you, because it can be slim pickings.
There's not a lot. Do you think I'm normal?
I think you're all right.
All right,
as you know, you're probably up the top there, as you know yourself from
there must really be slim pickings out there then. So,
well, actually, Joe, it's more mainly heterosexual people who've put themselves forward. I actually made a video. It was like, can the gays and lesbians? Because like I can't rely on the straight men here. The straight men were just not submitting themselves.
Very difficult to rely on straight men.
No, I'd say they're shite. Fuck them.
Or don't.
I think we'll cut it there. Thanks a million. And that was Ross, a man who has managed to go from thirst traps to political activism, get revenge on a Craigslist catfish, become trapped on marathon first dates, and still somehow remains optimistic enough to give the old dating a go. If today's episode tells you anything, it's that there are loopers in all genders. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow The Dating Orange, leave a rating or review, and send this episode to a friend to give them a little chuckle. Slán agus gura maigad.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.